think about the things you could do, think about the things you should do, then just don't do them. And this will mess everything up. See, and this is the subtlety of what I'm talking about here today. The subtlety is that in the day it doesn't seem to matter. If you wake up one day and say, oh my goodness, I'm a little overweight, I'm a little out of shape, I probably need to go on a diet. Probably need to do a little exercise. And today, you just watch what you eat. You eat reasonably healthy. You exercise for 20 minutes. When you put your head on the pillow that night, are you significantly healthier than you woke up in the morning?
No.
Is your blood pressure down? No. See, it's all so subtle, you don't even notice the difference. You say it doesn't seem to matter. On the other hand, if you wake up today, do not exercise, pig out on ice cream, eat all the junk food you possibly can, once you put your head down, you say, God, I'm not any heavier. I don't feel any worse. In the day, it doesn't seem to matter. You say, gosh, you know, I committed to spending 5 minutes with my spouse, giving them undivided attention for today. But I didn't do it. And that 5 minutes a day doesn't seem to make a difference in your relationship. But if you gave your spouse 5 minutes a day of undivided attention, 100% of your focused presence every day for a year, do you think that would have a significant impact on your relationship? You say, well, gosh, yeah. See, if I exercised for 20 minutes, ate just reasonably well, did that every day for a year, at the end of the year, you'd be a lot healthier. See, and in the day, it doesn't seem to matter, and that's the subtlety of it. Jim said, Greg, make sure that you're always looking at every day, and at the end of every day, ask, did today stack for me or against me? Did it move me towards my goals or move me away? He said, first of all, there are no neutral days. You're either going forward or backward. I always ask, where did I go? And at the end of the day, evaluate it. See, unfortunately, many of us don't ask at the end of the day. We wait till the end of the year. Say, gosh, it wasn't a good year. How do you have a bad year? That's made of 365 bad days. Wouldn't you have known quickly? Gosh, by the end of February, you say, gosh, my sales are a little off. My relationship, I better do something. I better change. Why wait till December and say, oh, it's a bad year? See, Jack, every now and then you've got to say, gosh, what's paying off? What do I need to do differently? Then realize that every discipline affects every other discipline. This was a hard one for me to learn. When I went to work for Jim, I saw myself as an entrepreneur, a business person. I'd been a successful realtor, a broker owner. Now, I was a little emotionally devastated, but I went to work for Jim. And I saw myself as having all kinds of possibilities. So I went to Jim right away. A couple of weeks after I started working for him, Jim, give me some more responsibility. I think I'll give you more. He said, Greg, I don't think you're ready. I was a little frustrated with that. A few weeks later, who's back? Hey, I want to do this. I want more opportunity, more responsibility. I think I can take on this project. He said, Greg, I don't think you're quite ready yet. Got a little more frustrated. A couple months later, it's back. Jim, I want this. I was bugging him, on his case for more responsibility, more opportunity. He finally said, Greg, you are not ready. I said, I believe I am. He said, everybody says they're ready, but I can tell you're not. I said, Jim, he could tell I was a little frustrated. He said, Greg, do you want the honest truth? I said, yeah. He said, Greg, the guy that cannot straighten out his life and comes to me and says, I want more responsibility, more opportunity in my company, is deluding himself. I said, what do you mean? Now, I was in my late 20s, had gone through a divorce, was now living in an apartment. And he said, Greg, let me ask you, if I went to your apartment right now, is it spotless? Is your bed made, your clothes picked up, your kitchen, everything absolutely spotless? What do you suppose I said?
No.
I said, no. First of all, I thought, how did he know? I said, what does that have to do with the opportunity, what I can do here at the company? He said, Greg, every discipline affects other discipline. If you don't have the discipline to organize your life, I guarantee you don't have the discipline that I need in my company. I remember this really made me mad. I got very frustrated with Jim. Don't think I even talked to him for a week. A little uncomfortable traveling with him. Barely made it through. But then, about a week later, I was sort of thinking, well, maybe he's right. I got up one day, made my bed, cleaned up my room. Didn't clean the rest of it. I did that a few days in a row. Then I cleaned the kitchen. Organized my garage. A couple of weeks later, I actually started an exercise program. About 4 months later, I lost a little weight, was in much better shape. Jim called me in the office and he said, Greg, I've got an opportunity for you. I can tell you changed. I want you to realize that everything affects everything else. Failure to keep your word in one area affects everything in so many different ways. The secret is to start with the small stuff. We want to start with the big stuff. Let's start with the little things. Don't wake up today and say, oh my goodness, I need to exercise, I'm going to go run a marathon. No, start by walking around the block. Have one less helping of dessert. Say, how can I make the little bit things, and start there. Then, remember that whatever you commit to doing, it's critical that you keep your word to yourself. There's nothing more detrimental to your success than making a promise to yourself that you don't keep. I want to wrap up by talking a little bit about self-mastery. And that's really what we all want to do. How do we master everything in our lives? And Jim said, if you want to become a master of yourself, here's the key. Take 100% responsibility for all of your own emotions. And I will tell you, this is incredibly challenging, but it will make such a big difference. I remember one day, working for Jim, my ex-wife showed up. She wanted to change something on her divorce settlement, sent me into a tizzy, made me mad, emotionally devastated me that day. After she was gone, Jim called me in, said, Greg, I can tell you were upset. I can't, said, oh, my wife did this and this and this and this and this. And Jim looked at me and said, Greg, how long do you want to give her power over your life? I said, not another minute. He said, the only way that's ever going to happen is if you take responsibility for emotions. He says, nothing she's doing can affect you unless you allow it to be controlling you. You have a choice to respond. He said, ask yourself, how can I think about this differently so I feel better about it? And he says, I don't care what you have to tell yourself. If you will tell yourself a story so that you feel better and start controlling your emotions, it will have a huge impact on your life. He said, I feel so strongly about this, even if you have to lie to yourself. It will give you control of your emotions, and I have found this is so true. How we frame every situation affects it. Next time my wife showed up, she started telling me things, and I instantly started telling myself a story. You know, it was a total lie. I said she is the most nuts person on the planet. She needs emotional help. Should be hospitalized. And instantly I started feeling better and less controlled. Now I was able to actually listen and say, oh my goodness, I don't have to do what she's thinking. I want you to realize whatever you do, take control of your own life. Ask, what concrete action can I take in this situation right now to make everyone better? Not just yourself, but make sure you think about everyone involved. Now I have found that negative is normal. I found that most of us human beings tend to look at a little bit of the negative side. I have found that it's not successful, but it is normal. So if you want to get rid of the normal negative, here's the way to do. Go to work on eliminating the diseases of attitude. And this will make such a huge difference for you. Start with pessimism. The poor pessimist lives such an ugly life. You go to a pessimist, you give them an idea, they say, well, let me give you 27 reasons why that won't work. They don't even realize they only need to come up with one. They came up with 27. The poor pessimist is always looking for how things work poorly. Get on the positive side, look for how things can work. Get rid of jealousy and envy. If you see anybody succeeding at a high level, I don't care who they are, whether you think they're an idiot, whether you think they deserve it, learn to celebrate their success. Jealousy, envy is such a small-minded feeling. Also, get rid of doubt. One of the best things to doubt is your own limitations. If there's anything to doubt, doubt your limits. And realize that you can probably do amazing things. Also, get rid of worry, fear, and guilt. Jim said these are deadly diseases that cause you health problems, can cancel all your chances. To help you understand this, I have a question. How hard do you have to worry about something to change it? Roughly. How hard? See, no matter how hard you worry, you can't change anything. No matter how much guilt, no matter how much doubt you have, no matter how much fear, you can't change anything. Since it's not going to change, why worry? Give it up. Ask yourself, is there something I can do? If you can do something, take action. If there's absolutely nothing you can do, give it up. Enjoy your life. I don't care what is going on. That will make such a huge difference. Also, get rid of over-caution and indecision. I will tell you, after that first crash, I was a little overcautious for a while. Jim said, Greg, you got to get over that. He says, life is risky. Better living a life of adventure, of excitement, of going for what you really want, than a life of caution. I want you to understand life is risky. Let me tell you how risky it is. None of you are going to get out of it alive. Since you are going to get out of it alive, give it a go. See what you can do for it. See what the next 5 years can be. You can accomplish the absolute most amazing things. Also get rid of the disease called complaining. I will tell you, I had this one bad when I worked for Jim. And when I went to work for Jim, the very first day, he called me and he said, Greg, I don't have a lot of rules here. There are a few things that we do. He says, here at Jim Malone Productions, though, we do not complain about anything, ever. It's one of the things I am absolutely committed to, because I believe complaining is one of the most destructive forms of communication on the planet. And he asked me, Greg, can you ever think back in your life of somebody coming to you, complaining about something, and at the end, feeling inspired? Saying, oh my goodness, that complaint helped me so much. I am so grateful. Let me write a gratitude for you. I said, well, no. He said, so realize it's not inspiring anybody. It's hurting you and them. So we do not complain here, ever. And he says, my cardinal rule is we never, ever, ever complain about a client. He said, that's one thing I cannot tolerate, ever. I thought it was a little weird. Didn't think that much of it, but a few weeks later, they raised my rent. Before a meeting, there was a bunch of us sitting out. We're getting ready to go in the conference room, and I was complaining about my rent being raised. Didn't even realize Jim heard me. After the meeting was over, Jim said, Greg, could you stay back? I said, Greg, what do you need, Jim? He said, before our meeting today, I heard you complaining. I said, well, I don't think I was complaining. You know, it's unfair. They raised my rent. He said, I call that a complaint. And he said, I told you, we do not complain here about anything. I said, well, you know, I'm just stating the facts. I mean, you know, things do cost too much. He said, I don't think things cost too much. I said, well, that's easy for you to say. You're rich. He said, Greg, let's be honest. It's not that things cost too much. The truth is you can't afford it. See, I never thought about it that way. He made me look at things from just a little different perspective. And he said, so Greg, just give up complaining. So I went on my way, didn't think much of it. A few weeks later, we're in a meeting. One of the clients I was responsible for canceled one of his events. And of course, as I was explaining this, I complained about the client. As soon as I complained about the client, Jim said, Greg, thanks for the report, that's enough right now. And he moved on. He did not let me talk the entire rest of the meeting. After it was over, he said, Greg, would you stay back? He said, Greg, I told you this a couple weeks ago, we do not complain here, and I told you when you started, my cardinal rule is we never, ever complain about a client no matter what they have done. especially in public. You need to get a handle on this, because we do not do that here. I thought, my goodness, this guy's a little fanatical. I was able to sort of stop complaining for the next few months. And sure enough, about 3 months later, I was in a meeting, and I complained again. This time, Jim called me in. He said, Greg, I've been thinking about this. This is the third time, and I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. Somehow, I have not been able to reach you with the depth of my conviction about complaining. So he says, I'm going to say this to you, and I hope I'm going to say it well, so that you understand how strongly I feel this. He said, I want you to know, I believe that if you spend 5 minutes of your life complaining, you have wasted 5 minutes of your life, and you have begun what I call economic cancer of the bone. And soon they will haul you off to a financial desert and there let you choke on the dust of your own regret. He said, I hope I said that well, so that you understand the depth of abhorrence I have about complaining. He said, Greg, just in case I didn't reach you, I also want you to know, if I hear you complain ever again, it will be the last complaint you make working for me. I got the message. Give it up. Do not complain. I have a question. As a realtor, why would you ever complain about a client? Especially to another realtor. Just give up complaining. Don't complain about your kids. Don't complain about anything. Don't complain about the weather. Don't complain about anything in your life, and you will find that you are so much happier. It starts that simple. Whatever you complain about, you end up attracting more in your life. You come to the disease of attitude by mastering your thinking habit. I want you to learn to be happy right here, right now. To wrap this up, I want to give you a little formula that can make a huge difference for you. This is from a wonderful book called U Squared, How to Make a Quantum Leap in Performance. How to go from you to a multiple of you. Write a one-page letter outlining precisely where you want to be the end of your life, or in 5 years from now. And I'm going to write this description as if it was a reality. Not, I will be earning X number of dollars. I am earning X number of dollars. I'm living here, I'm doing this. And write a one-page description of your perfect life 5 years from now. Then, cut out 5 or 10 pictures that visually represent what your life would look like 5 years from now if you were living that quantum leap. Now, every day, take 10 minutes. Read the letter to yourself, and mentally look at the pictures and see yourself living that life. Smell it, taste it, emotionally be there as much as you possibly can. Then take 5 minutes. Write down in your journal any action steps, any items that you can do to move yourself towards that goal. Say, what are the action steps? What are the little things? And then try and take one small action step every day. And if you will do this every day, you cannot believe the impact it will make in 90 days. If you do it for a year, you cannot believe where it will take you. Now, I have a question. Does this sound like it's really hard to do?
No.
So could you do it?
Yes.
Should you do it?
Yes.
The only question is, so could you do this exercise today? Should you do it today? The question is, will you do it? Here's what I want you to know. If you don't do it today, the chances of you doing it tomorrow go down dramatically. And if you don't do it today or tomorrow, the chances are almost zero that you'll ever do it. Success is that subtle. It's so easy to do, but it's so easy not to. Tonight you're going to get home, you're going to have a choice. Do you watch a little more TV or write the letter? Which one do you think will have the most significant impact on your life? And most of you are going to pick TV. And then we wonder why our lives are not working well. And so pray, why should I go through all this effort? Why should I put in all the effort out there? And I will tell you, the best reason to go for it is why not? What else are you going to do with your life? The next 5 years are going to go by incredibly quick. Why not go for what you really want? Why not you? Looking at the Mona Lisa, traveling about Scotland, living the life of your dreams. Why not you having a significant impact on the people that you care about? Why not you leading the sales charge here at your organization? And I want you to realize you are just as capable, just as talented as anybody else out there. The one thing I found is I've had the good fortune to work with many top producing real estate agents. The people at the top are not any brighter, not any better. They just do the little things that the average person doesn't seem to do. And if you'll start there, you have all the things. Now, you got to take action. And the reality is that now is the only time. Today is the only day you can actually make a difference in your future. You can't change anything in the past. You cannot change the future except by doing something today. So understand, now is the time to act. Do not wait. Today is the day you can make a difference. I hope you found this at least thought-provoking. And I really want you to realize that if you will take some of the ideas, it can make a huge difference in helping you create the fortune that you want in your life, whatever that is to you. Jim said, Greg, life is interesting. He said, if we do it right, you can make your fortune and take a lot of good people with you. And whatever your fortune is, whether it's the influence you have, the money you make, the things you can do for others, whatever fortune means to you, get a clear vision of what that is. And then if you do it right, there's nothing like doing it right. Doing it in a way that you feel proud of. So that you look back and say, oh my goodness, I made a difference. The reality is you can take a lot of good people with you. We're all in this together. I think it takes all of us to make the whole. Each of us plays a part. And if any one of us doesn't give their very best, it diminishes the whole. So understand, give it your best. And you can have a difference in your clients' lives, in the lives of your family, and in what you accomplish in the next 5 years. I want to thank you for your time, your attention here today. I love your thoughts and feedback. I'd love an email about your thoughts about today. I'm easy to get a hold of. If you email me at greg.herder@hobsherder.com or go to my Facebook page, put a comment. I want to thank you very much for your time here and attention today. Thank you.